Hello and welcome to Knowledge TV Facts. If you're new to my channel, please consider to subscribe and also the bell icon so you won't miss all my newly uploaded videos. Thank you. For today's video, we will talk about the 5 best non-US Special Operations Forces from around the world. Special Operations Forces have become some of the most prominent and active military units in the world. US units like Delta Force and Navy SEALs are well known and highly regarded, but many other countries also field top-tier special operators. Special Operations Forces have become many countries' go-to military units for crisis response. SOF units offer a low-cost, high-reward option, and their small footprint makes them more politically acceptable for policymakers when the public is wary of large military commitments. The US military boasts some of the best SOF units in the world, such as the Army's Delta Force and the Navy's SEAL teams. But what about non-US SOF units? Here's a brief list of the rest of the world's top units based on combat experience and strategic utility. Number 1. British Special Air Service or SAS, also the Special Boat Service, as their maritime counterpart. Many considers the SAS the father of modern SOF units. The SAS was created in 1940 to help turn the tide against Axis forces in North Africa. Its maritime counterpart, the SBS, followed shortly afterward. The units specialized in counterterrorism, hostage rescue, special reconnaissance, and direct action, with the SBS having a maritime focus. SAS and SBS troopers have seen action in Malaya, Borneo, Oman, Yemen, Ireland, Sierra Leone, Libya, Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria, among other places. One of their most famous operations was in 1980, when an SAS unit stormed the besieged Iranian embassy in London and freed several hostages. The action was immortalized in live television. The SAS and SBS now shared a joint selection process with 5 phases. SBS candidates have an additional phase of combat diving and underwater operations. Last 4 weeks is notorious for its difficulty. Candidates have to complete a series of increasingly difficult navigational exercises while carrying heavy loads. The rest of the phases includes jungle and urban warfare, and a survival, evasion, resistance, and escape or SERE training. The US Army Delta Force was modeled after the SAS, and the units share a close relationship. Similarly, the SBS shares a tight bond and frequent exchange programs with the US Navy's SEAL Team 6. You'll often find Australian and New Zealander operators in the SAS and SBS, as their countries and units have a close relationship. Number 2. Special Air Service Regiment or SASR of Australia. Formed in 1957, the SASR is Australia's top-tier SOF unit. It specializes in counter-terrorism, special reconnaissance, and direct action. SASR operators have seen action in Vietnam, Borneo, East Timor, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, and Africa. A brutal 21-day selection ensures not only the physically prepared and mentally strong pass. In the concluding days, candidates carry heavy loads with almost no food and little sleep, and are assigned tasks designed to be achievable in order to test their ability to deal with failure while at the edge of human endurance. Successful candidates then go to a 16-month reinforcement cycle where they learn the basics of being an SASR operator. The SASR have been a loyal US partner, having been one of the first units to deploy to Afghanistan shortly after 9/11 attack. 2 SASR operators have won the Victoria Cross, the equivalent of Medal of Honor, while in country. Number 3. Light Reaction Regiment of the Philippines. A quiet but deadly Filipino SOF units have seen lots of combat in recent years. It was created in 2000 after a series of terrorist attacks and kidnappings rocked the Philippines. The US funded the training and provided Army Special Forces soldiers to stand up the unit. The LRR specializes in counterterrorism, direct action, hostage rescue, and special reconnaissance. It has been pivotal in the fight against Abu Sayyaf, ISIS Philippines, and other jihadist groups. The unit is best known for its actions during Marawi and Zamboanga sieges. It is also famous for a Trojan horse operation, in which a small element dressed as if it was going to a wedding, with several operators pretending to be a woman, and killed high-value target. Like the other units in the list, the Light Reaction Regiment has military freefall and combat swimmer capabilities. Number 4. New Zealand Special Air Service, or the NZSAS. In 1955, the New Zealand government sought to fill the critical gap of its Special Operations Forces capabilities by establishing the NZSAS. Like its British and Australian cousins, the NZSAS primarily specializes in direct action, special reconnaissance, counter-terrorism, and hostage rescue missions. Additionally, the NZSAS has a great combat tracking reputation that goes back to the Malayan Emergency and the Vietnam War. Despite technological leaps since then, the NZSAS troopers still teach their tracking expertise across the world. Selection for the NZSAS is a 10-day process with limited food and scant sleep. Constant physical events push candidates to their limits. Von Tempsky, one of the exercises, has candidates march for 24 hours in a straight line though whatever terrain they encounter, carrying up to 100 pounds. Selection ends with an untimed 38-mile rock march with a similarly heavy load. A grueling months-long reinforcement cycle follows, in which prospective operators learn the craft of an NZSAS operator. Candidates who pass selection can still wash out during the reinforcement cycle. Throughout its history, have seen combat in the Malayan Emergency, Borneo, Vietnam, East Timor, and Afghanistan, but has also deployed to numerous other countries. An NZSAS operator received the Victoria Cross in Afghanistan. Number 5. Le Commando Hubert, the elite of the French Navy, equivalent to the British SBS and the US SEAL Team 6. Commando Hubert is at the tip of the spear of the French SOF. It specializes in hostage rescue, counterterrorism with a focus on maritime environment, direct action, and underwater special operations. The French Navy has 7 commandos. To serve in the Commando Hubert, a sailor must have been in another commando for a few years before flying. The unit's rigorous selection process mainly focuses on combat diving training and advanced underwater operations. The unit has deployed to Algeria, Lebanon, Afghanistan, and Africa, spearheading the fight against jihadists in the Sahel. In 2019, 2 members of the unit were killed in action during daring hostage rescue in Burkina Faso. Thank you so much guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you guys did, please consider to hit subscribe and also the bell icon so you won't miss all my newly uploaded videos. Thank you so much and stay safe.